All right, welcome back to the DDSN Diamond Betting Show. We're here for episode number 21. We actually had a few early games today. I didn't play anything. I took a while to look at the lineups, the pitchers, but I really should have pulled the trigger. Only problem was there wasn't enough time. There's probably about 30 minutes between when I wanted to post and when these games are going to start. So it was a little tight, so I didn't post anything. But if the afternoon, the evening goes anything like this morning, I'm seeing the games well. Last night we had a small losing night, which I will blame on myself, mainly for trusting the to close out a full game. They didn't. They blew another Nolan McLean start. We should have just stuck with our first five. So that was my fault. Same thing with the Braves. We shouldn't have double dipped on the Braves. And, the Nationals came out smoking. We needed that the day before, and it didn't happen. So just our luck. And again, the Angels bullpen blows another game for us. What else is new? But the White Sox cashed. Other than that, we did have, it was a fairly decent day. We are still in the green overall with our sides. Our totals are, who knows? They're up and down. Everything's in the description below, but let's get into today's evening games and tonight's games. Let's start with the Sacramento Athletics plus 159. Aaron Savali on the mound against the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are big favorites, minus 176 with Logan Gilbert on the mound. Mariners here are trying to avoid the sweep, but the price is a little heavy. That's why we're going to go with the first five here. We're going to lay the minus 0.5, half a run on the run line with the Mariners at a minus 120 price. I think Logan Gilbert can lock down this Athletics offense, and the Mariners offense, who is a bit sketchy, I think they can get to Aaron Savali here, especially in those first 5 innings. That's why we're getting a good price here. It's going to be tight, and we're going to have to trust this Mariners offense. But because they're trying to avoid the sweep and they have Logan Gilbert on the mound, I think this will work out perfectly for Seattle. Next game, Milwaukee Brewers plus 117. DL Hall's on the mound. I believe he's just going to be the opener, so there's no telling how many pitches or how many innings he'll go. Up against the Tigers, the Detroit minus 129. Casey Mize. The Tigers really screwed us last night. Absolutely no offense going. Pitching looked abysmal. First time Kiter Montero's had a bad game this season, so you got to give him a pass. But no excuse for the Tigers offense. After going on that winning streak, they come back home and the offense is ice cold once again. I do like the Brewers here. And the Brewers in this matchup going up against Casey Mize. The Brewers were ice cold, but now, other than, a couple of days ago when they had a loss, they're actually heating up. So I do like the Brewers getting plus money here. Hopefully the bullpen can stay strong. I like Milwaukee plus 117. Next game, the Atlanta Braves minus 145. Didier Fuentes, he just got called back up to the main roster against the Washington Nationals, plus 131, Zach Littell on the mound. Didier Fuentes hasn't been great in the past, but this season he hasn't been terrible, especially when he's come out of the bullpen. Sometimes he opens or he starts, but I do like the Braves to get revenge in this matchup against Zach Littell, and they get a win from last night's drubbing. Give me the Braves first 5 on the money line, minus 135. I think they can get to Zach Littell. He hasn't been great this season. This Brave offense is hot, and it's just too expensive to go the full game with the Braves. Although that's probably, I take that back because it's only a 10-cent difference. I'm not going to do first 5. We're going to have to remix this, and if we lose, we lose. But it's only a 10-cent difference, and now that I think about it, this Nationals bullpen isn't very good. So I think the best bet here is taking the full game, paying the extra 10 cents, and we have this Braves offense for the whole game against the Nationals trashy bullpen. Give me the Braves full game money line, minus 145. Next game, Yankees minus 129. Max Fried on the mound against the Boston Red Sox, plus 117 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Two lefties going up against each other. The Red Sox, they're obviously been struggling, especially offensively, but Ranger Suarez, new to the American League, he has not been playing well for Boston. He's had a 1 good start, maybe 1.5 good starts, but this Yankees team is actually starting to play well, especially offensively, putting Ben Rice in the lineup. And I just disagree with the pricing here. Max Fried has been great this season. We're going to back the lefty Max Fried, Yankees minus 129. I think the price is totally wrong here. Yes, it is a rivalry game, but Max Fried has dominated the Red Sox. And the Boston players that have gotten to Max Fried and given him trouble in the past, they're not on this roster anymore, or they're injured. They won't be in the game tonight. So we're getting a nice price here with the Yankees. Let's go with New York minus 129. Next game, the Minnesota Twins plus 137. Connor Prelip, lefty, is making his MLB debut for the Twins against the New York Mets minus 151. Clay Holmes is on the mound. Yes, the Mets suck. I believe Juan Soto will be back in the lineup, but it was that hamstring injury, so there's really no telling how healthy he'll be. He could be hobbled. He could be playing it safe. I don't really factor that into the lineup into the handicap too much. But this Twins offense, they've kind of found a spark yesterday, and they got to this Mets bullpen. Mets bullpen is terrible. Just as bad as the Royals, just as bad as the Phillies. We can't trust the Mets, and I'd rather have the rookie pitcher, and this price with Minnesota with all the pressure in the world on Clay Holmes and the Mets to finally win a game. Anything that can go wrong has gone wrong for the Metropolitans. I just want nothing to do with them anymore, unless it's a Nolan McLean first five. That's it. That's the only bet I want with the Mets. Unless we're getting plus money on them, I want nothing to do with them. Give me the Twins plus 137. And I like this game to go under in the first 5 innings, minus 105. We've got a new rookie pitcher going up against an offense that has all the pressure in the world on them. You have Clay Holmes on the other side. I think that's a good little matchup here, and we can get the game under in the first 5. Not the full game, because this Minnesota Twins bullpen and the Mets bullpen both are terrible. First 5 under. Next game, speaking of trash, the Philadelphia Phillies plus 162 with Kyle Backus on the mound. I believe he's making his first start this year, lefty, against the Chicago Cubs, minus 180. Matthew Boyd on the mound, another lefty. Expensive price here for the Cubs, but what do we say? We don't trust the Phillies. We don't respect the Phillies, especially their bullpen. And if this is going to be a bullpen game, what are we going to do? Fade the Phillies, especially with the lefty on the mound. Not only that, but the Chicago Cubs offense is one of the hottest in the league right now. Go ahead and give me the Cubs first 5 on the run line, minus 118, and the Cubs game run line, plus 115. Again, Cubs first 5 run line, minus half a run, minus 118, and the Cubs full game run line, plus 115. I think they could get to Backus. I think Boyd will have a great game. He's a lefty. Philly hates playing left-handed pitching. They don't do well. So we're going to ride the Cubs, and we're going to keep fading the Phillies. If we lose, we lose. I don't even care. Next game, Pittsburgh Pirates minus 109. Braxton Ashcraft on the mound against the Texas Rangers minus 101. Jack Leiter on the mound. Leiter has struggled against Pittsburgh in the past. He's only faced them once, but the one time he did face them, Pittsburgh was all over Leiter. I think that happens again today. Texas is coming. They just got back home off of a road trip. They had a great win yesterday. The offense scored more than 2 runs. So anytime that happens for the Rangers, it's a great day. But now they'll be going up against a much better pitcher, Braxton Ashcraft, with an offense that has hit well against Leiter in basically odds-wise a coin flip game. Go ahead and give me the Pirates. I like their offense, especially if the numbers and data dictate that they have a much better chance of having a successful night than the Rangers' offense against Ashcraft. We'll have to see what happens, but give me the Pirates minus 109. Next game, the San Diego Padres minus 151. Walker Buehler on the mound against the Colorado Rockies. Rockies are plus 137 with Tomoyaki Sugano on the mound. What did we say yesterday? It was at least a 20, 30 point or $30 difference what the Rockies were favored in San Diego compared to what the Rockies were favored at home. Even against the Dodgers, this Padres offense is red hot. And what happened yesterday? The Padres offense outlasted the Rockies. The Rockies were down 1-0 the entire game, and they just couldn't finish it. That marks the 3rd or 4th game already that the Rockies can't finish games against the San Diego Padres. But is it worth taking the Rockies today? I don't know. And I don't think so because still feel like we're not getting an appropriate price with the Colorado Rockies going up against they did have a right price against the Dodgers, plus 150, plus 160. But yes, they play the Padres close, but they can't ever finish these games. That's the issue. So we're not going to bet the Rockies, even though I think the Rockies can win this game. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to bet this game for the Rockies because the price isn't there. We're missing 20 to 30 cents. But what I do think will happen is we get another pitcher's duel. Same thing that happened in the first game, I think will happen once again in this game. It also happened last night. So we're going first 5 under 6.5 at plus 100 even money, and game under 12 minus 103. Yes, it's always dicey doing this in Colorado. But if the game plays out like we think it is in another pitcher's duel, then we should be fine. But you never know what happens up in the Mile High Stadium with the Rockies. So next game, Chicago White Sox plus 136, Anthony Kay on the mound against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are minus 150. Eduardo Rodriguez is on the mound. Our White Sox came through for us last night, but I don't think they're going to have the same luck tonight. I don't think that the Diamondbacks are going to lose 3 games in a row. They've lost 2 in a row right now. Today's a perfect situation going up against a left-handed Anthony Kay. Diamondbacks love to go up against left-handed pitching. I like the Diamondbacks in this one. That's why we're going to double dip. Give me the Diamondbacks first 5 on the run line, minus 112, and the game run line, minus 1.5 for plus 128. I like Rodriguez at home. I like the Diamondbacks at home. And I like the fact that the Diamondbacks are going up against a left-handed pitcher that isn't the strongest. Last game, Los Angeles Dodgers minus 193 against Shohei Ohtani on the mound against the San Francisco Giants, plus 174, Tyler Mahle on the mound. You know, this is a great game for the Giants last night. Great win for the Giants. But can they do that again? Shohei Ohtani has a sub-1 ERA and is pitching out of his mind right now. Even if he goes 5 or 6 innings, the Dodgers have been playing great. So is this offense. Tyler Mahle has been pretty good and has pitched well against the Dodgers. But will the Giants be able to shut down the Dodgers 2 games in a row? I just don't think so. I think the Dodgers get one back here. That's why I'm laying the run line with LA minus 128. That's everything for today. It is a smaller slate because we had some early games, but I like everything here. Let's keep our sides in the green. We've been doing well. Our totals, it's 50-50. I don't know how many totals we've lost in the bottom of the 5th inning by just scrub players hitting home runs. It's actually pretty ridiculous. Once you go back and look at the stats, Josh Naylor batting 100, hits 2 home runs. You have Marcell Ozuna, who's also hitting 100. Screwed us in 2 games where he hit a home run in both games, but he's batting, beneath the Mendoza line. So, that sort of thing happens. It's baseball variables, but I like what we're doing. I like where our sides are at. Thank you for all the new subscribers on TikTok and YouTube. Appreciate everyone that likes, subscribes, follows along. And green is good. Good luck to us. Let's get a winning day. And then because we have so many day games tomorrow, I'll probably record tonight for all the games tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see, but more than likely, that's probably what I'll do. All right. Thanks again. Good luck to us, and we'll see y'all later tonight / tomorrow.